Hi, and welcome at Your Guitar Workshop. In today's lesson, we're going to be looking at Mateus Asato's version of Don't Dream It's Over. And it's originally played by Crowded House. His version, Mateus' version, is just fantastic. It's sort of a fingerstyle electric guitar version of the tune, and there's so much great stuff in there. So the tab for it is available on my Patreon page, and I think we should just get into it and see how it goes. Here we go. All right, so what do? You open with an F sus2, which is just your F power chord, but then with an open G string there. And you just sort of arpeggiate it, so E, A, D, G. You give that a vibrato with your whammy bar. Now, I don't have one, so what I do is sort of, I push and pull the neck of the guitar a little bit. Then what you do is you get this. So you make a slide with your middle finger towards 10th position of that D string, and then play ring finger 10 on B, and make a semitone bend there, and release. Then you play it once more with a vibrato, and then slide up to 11, back down to 10, pull off to 8, like this. Then you get the following lick. So what do? When we're here in 10th position, our pointer finger plays all the 10th position notes. Ring finger plays all the 12th position notes. We start on the D string in 10, then hammer on 12, then G string 10, hammer on 12, and then B string 10, like this. Then ring finger 14th position, grace note slide to 12. Pull off to 10th, then D string 12, pull off to 10, and then you sort of flatten that pointer finger to 10 G string, like this. Then you play 12th position with your ring finger, and you make a grace note slide towards 5th position of that D string. Then slide up to 6, back to 5, and then pull off to 3 that you play with your pointer finger. It's like this. Then 5th position A with your ring finger, pull off to 3 pointer finger, and then 3 D string pointer finger. Like. Then you make a grace note slide from 5 to 8, slide down to 5, slide back up to 7, and then slide down to 3, like this. Okay, so that whole lick. Then you get this one, right, which is a G minor at 11. So how do you play that? Middle finger 3rd position of E, open D string, then 3rd position G string with your ring finger, and then 1st position with your pointer finger on the B string. And then you get the following part. I'll play it for you, and then we'll get into it. Here we go. So what do? With your middle finger, you make a slide towards 12th position of D. Keep it there at pinky 14 on G. Then at pointer finger 11 on B. And then at 13 ring finger on B. Like this. Then you play a G minor 9 chord with just the upper structure of it. So you have your pointer finger flat on D, G, and B, and E in 15th, but add your ring finger in 17th on that E string. So now, what Mateus does is he plays that with a forward roll, like thumb, pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger. And then he adds vibrato to it with his whammy bar. Now, I don't have that, so I just try to give some vibrato with my fingers to the chord. And then make a pull-off with my ring finger. Right? Then you play F add 9. So that is basically your standard first position F chord, played in 13th position. And then you add your pinky in 15 of your E string. And the same forward roll, and then you make a pull-off with your pinky, like this. Then you keep your middle finger and ring finger where they are. Put your pinky on 15 of the B string. Then you play D, and then quickly B string. It's like this. And give that a vibrato too. And then with your pinky, make a pull-off to 13th position with your pointer finger on B, like this. Then I put my pointer finger flat in 12th position of D and G, add my ring finger on the D string in 14th position, and I make a grace note slide from there a whole step down, so like this. Then I just play 10th position of D, G, and B, like that, like this. Then I play the B flat major chord with a forward roll. So that's thumb on 6 of E, ring finger, 8 of D, middle finger, 7 of G, and pointer finger 6 of B. Right, like that, with a forward roll. Then my fingers, I just slide up a whole step to the C position, and then make a hammer-on with my ring finger on the B and G string in 10th position, like this. Right? But make sure that this one keeps its tone. It's important. Then play that C chord, C major chord with a forward roll. Then put your pointer finger on 10th position of D and G. And then add your pinky in 13th of A. And then play those 3 strings with a forward roll. And then slide your pinky to 12th position. So this would be F sus4 resolving to F. Right? That's the chord that we have there. Okay? So that is our intro. So let's do that together. So you got at the vibrato, then to 10th position. The G minor at 11. Then C major. So what do? You basically have an F sus2 chord shape here. So pointer finger flat in 8th position of A all the way through E. At your pinky and ring finger in 10th on D and G. And then you play that with a picking pattern. And that picking pattern goes like this. So first you play E, D, and G with thumb, pointer, and middle. Play that bass again with your thumb, and then play your top E string with your ring finger, like this. Then D and G again to thumb E, A, so like this. Right? Then you play that once more, But on the first note, you just leave out the bass note. So instead of playing again, you just play your fingers first. Like that. So when you put those two together, you get this. Then you remove your ring finger and pinky, and then you play that pattern again without the bass. And then you play, so you play D and G to bass, then pinky 11 on B with your ring finger, and then you play the bass again. And then you start over. So like this. And then when you start over, leave out the bass on the first one. And then instead of playing, you get this. Then you repeat that, but then when you start playing on the one again, you don't do that bass. So you got, and then we get to the next chord again, and you just play, I think, D, G, and A. And then you do a tapped harmonic in 20th position on the D, G, and B string. Like that. For whatever reason, with my guitar, it doesn't sound as big like as on Mateus's guitar. But anyway, that's the spot where you hit it. All right, so what do? That's the first part of it. So you start off with F sus2. So thumb is on first position of E, pointer finger first position of B, pinky third position of D. You have open G string, and I just play the bass with my thumb, and then those other strings with pointer finger, middle finger, and ring finger. Then I move my hand in fifth position with pointer finger on D, G, and B. And then my pinky goes to eighth position of A. I play that with my thumb. Then pointer finger and middle finger play D and G. Then I hammer on with my ring finger in seventh of G, so like this. Then I play D and B. And then I make a hammer with my ring finger and middle finger. Ring finger in seventh and middle finger in sixth position. Like that. Then I play D and B once more, and I make a grace note pull-up, sort of, like that. And then I play D and B once more. Play A, slide down, and then I go to open D, like this. Then you got this. So you have open D, then pointer finger second position of G, and pinky in fifth of E. And those are short, by the way, like this one. Short. And then you get play D, fifth position of G with your pointer finger. Hammer on ring finger on 7, slide to 9. Then pointer finger 6 on B, hammer on middle finger, 8 of B, and then open E, like this. So together. All right. So the next part goes like this. So you have a slide with your middle finger towards sixth position of that E string. And I then have my pinky in 7 of G and pointer finger in 5th of D. Play that D and G string with my pointer finger and middle finger. Play that bass once more. Play D and G once more. And then make a pull off with my pinky, like this. Then I play bass, D and G, then bass, then pinky on eighth position of that D string. Do that again. And then you got this part. So what I do is with my pinky, I make a grace note slide from 8th to 7th position on that D string. Make a pull off to 5 where my pointer finger is, sorry. So like this. And then I play open A, then 7 on D, A, and I get that 7 on D, slide to 2nd position of that D string. Right? So. Then Mateus sort of plays a percussive sound with his hand left hand just muting the strings and going up and down the neck. And then you get the same start. So you get. And then you get, right? So you get, then you play A to D once more, slide to 12th position of that D string, and then you play with your middle finger, 10th position of B, play the bass note, and then you play D string, 11th position, G string, 9th, with ring finger and pointer finger, like this. All right, so you start with the B flat major chord. So thumb in 6th position of E, ring finger in 8 of D, middle finger in 7 of G, pointer finger in 6 of B. And ring finger goes with a B string, middle finger with G, pointer finger with D, and thumb with your low E. So you play E, D, and then you play B string. And when you do that, you make a hammer-on also with your pinky on 8th position of that B string. So like this. And after that, you play the G string, like this. Then you go to that C chord, so that's the same as your B flat, just whole step up. You play first E, and then D, G, and B together. And when you do that, make a hammer with your pinky in 10th of your B string, so like this. Then you get this part. So what do? You have your pinky and ring finger on 5th position of D and G. And you start there, slide to 7, to 8, back to 7, then make a pull off. And there you have your pointer fingers, like this. And when you do that, you want to also hear your B string 5th position when you make that pull off. So. And you play that D and G once more. Then you go to this part. So that is basically your normal C chord, but then if you move that up the neck with your pointer finger in 6th position, so this is an F chord, and then you add your pinky in 8th position of E. So you play A and E together, then you play D and then B, and then you make a hammer on with your pinky and ring finger in 8th position of D and B, like this. Slide them to 10th position, and then you play D once more with your thumb, so like this. Then you got this. So what do? So you play D, G, and B together with your pointer finger on 6th position of B and middle finger in 7th of G. When you play that, you slide them up a whole step immediately. Then you play the D string once more. And then you play that chord again. But now you slide it immediately down to its previous positions like this. Then you play D, G. All right? So you got... And then you start over. Then you get this part. What you do is you have your pinky and ring finger this time in 8th position of D and G. And you make a grace note slide from there to 7th. Pull off to 5. Then put it back on 7th. Pull off again. Then slide your pointer finger up to 6 and then back down to 5. Then you get the same part with F. Then you get the next part, which is a little bit different. So what you do is so you play E, D, and then G and B together with that hammer-on thing. Then you play bass and then D and G, like this. Then you play E, D, G, and B together, and then with that hammer-on, so like this. And then you get the trickiest part, I think, of this tune, which is this. So what you do is you have your pinky and ring finger in 5th position of D and B. Grace note slide to 3rd. So make a pull off to middle finger 2 and point finger 1 on D and B. So then you put your ring finger in 3rd of A. You play that. Open D. Then a hammer on 2nd position of that D string, and then open G. Then you move into 5th position. You put your pointer finger there on D and G. Pinky in 8 of A. And then you play that. D, hammer on ring finger, 7th position, and then G string, like this. Then you get this part. So you have pointer finger, 9th position, slide up to 10th. Hammer on ring finger to 12 on G. Play that again, and then make a grace note pull off. And then pinky, 14th position of D, like this. And then you get this. So that is ring finger in 10 of G. You can slide to 9, pull off to 7, then put it back on, ring finger 9, slide it to 10, and then put your pointer finger down, 8th position, small bar on B and E. Play them together. Right? So like this. Then you get the following part. And how do you play that? So you have your thumb, 6th position of E string. So this is going to be a B flat chord. So you play that. Then put your middle finger on 5th of G and slide it to 7th. Then pointer finger is added, 6th position on B. Play G again, play B again, then hammer on pinky on 8th of that B string, so like this. Then rearrange your fingers. Ring finger is now on 7th position, on G. Middle finger is in 6th of B. And pointer finger is patiently awaiting on 5th position of your G string. You play G and B, pull off with your ring finger, then put your pinky on 8th of D, and then play G and B again, and then put your ring finger with a hammer-on back on 7th of G, so like this. So then you play that D string, bass, bass, and then twice D and G, back to the bass, like this. Then sort of a slap on the strings, and then you pluck your E, A, D, and G string for that C major chord here is sort of a bar version, and then you strum it, and then the whole thing repeats again, right? So like this. And then it starts again. All right, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Next week, I'm going to tackle the rest of the tune. If you need the tablature, it's available on my Patreon page, and that's where I'm going to leave it. Hope to see you again sometime. Bye.